Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Miami Dolphins. It's an Indian summer afternoon, perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. First carry for James Conner, and he'll fight forward to about the 26. Seven-yard line.
Let's go now.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it. Coming in carrying the losing streak, not the start that they were looking for. 3 and out on the opening drive.
So now everyone's looking at each other. And what I mean by that is, who's going to make the right play? Who's going to get us out of the doldrums? Who's going to get us out of this funk that they're in right now? They've got to find someone who will make a play, create a play, and get their confidence moving in the right direction.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Gun!
First down, and they're going to throw without it. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney! Detroit!
Throwing now is Allen. He'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equanimeous St. Brown. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Open space inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Ronald Jones, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders have taken the early lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here come the Dolphins. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The drive will start with Connor. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Now Jameis on second down. Able to power through. And will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. A former first-round pick, Marlon Humphrey, there to get a hand on it. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Winston from the gun on third down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Bud Dupree in there to get him for a loss of 9. And that'll lead to fourth down. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And he fields it cleanly. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll pitch it out to Jones. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Detroit! Detroit!
A give to Jones. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Lucky 56. Over.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Open man right side is Shark. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Detroit!
Allen going to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chandler Jones in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. That's something this coaching staff told us they want to see a lot more of this season.
I imagine the entire time in the offseason when these guys were taking breaks from watching film, when they were out running and doing all the other things, all they were thinking about is, how do we create more sacks? They loved what they just saw there.
Because they were near the bottom of the league in 2017. Throwing is Allen on third. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Here's Powell on the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Winston again. And the Raiders have got him. Bud Dupree in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
And now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for the Raiders. 52 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. He's got it, and it's 17-0. here's Bryant to kick it away. Here's Powell on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
They start with a give to Connor. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. 2nd down, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Crabtree the target on that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. It's a big play here for the Dolphins on 3rd. 54 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
They run with Connor. Oh, little 360.
Man.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Now it's Connor. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Lucky 56.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Allen now on first down. Open man right side is St. Brown. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Detroit. Detroit.
On second down, here's Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They get it to him running left. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Here's Powell on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
A first down throw for Winston. Crabtree with it over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A very solid gain of 27. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hey, sub. Let's go. 3 down. Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Here we go, even. Watch him bounce that.
First down, Winston. Flush to his right. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at second down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
5-0.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. This is caught inside the 15. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, Winston. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by... Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to the ground. This time Montgomery. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Dolphins have got it. Not the trend he wanted to start the season, with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed, because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. Being chased out left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Ready! Blue ready! Green, triple C! Boys hot! 5-0, 5-0, 5-0!
From the gun, Winston. And the pressure gets to him again. Bud Dupree getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Ready? Blue waiting.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Flushed out right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, It certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Allen on 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball. When that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Ready. Black 22. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Leonard Floyd in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Hey, check Mike 46. Check Mike 46. Wait. It's our time.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Ready. Blue ready. Hey, check. 3 down.
Jameis to throw it. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, 1st down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Gone. Leopard.
The give is to Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Jones. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And, he spins past him and into space. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Winston now to throw on 1st down. 20. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jameis now on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Hunter Henry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown.
3 weeks. 3 touchdowns. It's obvious they've looked his way early and often in the red zone this year, and that's usually a pretty good place to find a tight end in the NFL.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is down to 4. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third down and 12.
Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
From the gun, it's Allen. Buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Luke Kuechly able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Here's Jones. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A right side catch by Crabtree. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Jameis now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
On third down, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Bud Dupree in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and fire.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Ronald Jones, 61 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And he puts it through. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston. And this is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Green, triple C. Ready. Black 22.
A second down throw for Winston. And down he goes. Brought down, a Raiders sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
He's going to go for a big, looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Intended that time for Cooper. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And Bryant's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Toss play. Connor trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Jameis on 2nd down. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 6 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing, Winston. Dancing to his left. Now in desperation. And got his man. Complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now Winston. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert, and then it's decision time.
And now it's blocked. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And they try to sweep to Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
So Allen's going to look to throw, and he'll get that out to Ronald Jones, the rookie. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And how about that for Josh Allen? His first touchdown pass in the NFL. He had plenty of success while at the University of Wyoming. But when you throw your first touchdown in the league, that's what you've been dreaming of since you were a small child.
One to cherish forever, and you talk about his success. He had 44 touchdown passes in his 2 seasons at Wyoming. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Dolphins now.
Green, triple C. Ready.
Here's Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Green, triple C. Ready. Blue, ready.
On 2nd down, Winston again. And the Raiders have got him. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no...
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, and he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Fairbairn good with the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep. Those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, That rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Raiders, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
you.